first thing we're going to get is a report from Inspector General Horowitz on Comey's handling of Hillary, which I think is going to be very, very critical, as it should be. Comey really has a chance of being prosecuted as a result of it, but we'll see.
Well, that's the president's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. That report set for release on Thursday of this week, expected to find some fault with officials at the Department of the FBI, the Hillary Clinton email investigation. All that is contained in it, we understand. Texas Republican Michael McCaul, chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, also serves on the Foreign Affairs Committee. How you doing, and good morning to you, sir. Thank you for
Good morning, Bill.
Well,
congratulations on the new format.
Thank you. Let us know in 2 hours and 50 minutes if you still like it, okay? We're only 16 minutes in. What Giuliani is saying is that Comey could be the one who winds up facing prosecution. What do you think about that?
Well, Bill, I worked in the public integrity section at Department of Justice, Main Justice. Politics are never supposed to enter your mind as an investigator, as a prosecutor, and I'm concerned that politics may have been at play here. We won't know for sure until this report comes out, but I was very critical, as you remember, of Hillary taking her devices overseas into countries that could download special access programs, putting our national security at risk. And I think the fact that nothing was ever done, no charges came out of that, was always very suspect in my opinion.
Well, you can rule that he was insubordinate to his own bosses, but a prosecution's an entirely different matter. That's suggesting he did something illegal. Do you believe that's the case?
Well, again, I'm going to defer to the report coming out on Thursday. We'll take a look, see what that says. But we do know that there's some FBI officials, very high level, that were political in this process, and that is a big. I don't know. That's not supposed to happen at DOJ. It didn't happen when I was there. And it's unfortunate if that happened in this case.
Yeah, I understand this report this week, it only deals with the Hillary Clinton email matter, right? So that's Loretta Lynch and James Comey, correct? We don't get to the idea of the FISA, the FBI informant inside the Trump campaign, correct? That comes later?
Yeah, this is all Hillary's emails prior to the president taking office, and that's my understanding.
Okay, that's on Thursday. Here's Lindsey Graham on North Korea. Now, as we watch this summit come together, there's a suggestion from Secretary Pompeo and others that they're not going to do a deal like the Obama team did with Iran. They will come to Congress for approval. Graham said this. Watch this.
A bipartisan AUMF would really make that letter much more credible, and if diplomacy fails, as a last resort, Democrats and Republicans need to put the military option on the table, or we'll never get a good deal.
So Mike Pompeo says we want Congress to approve it, so the next administration can't rip up this deal.
Very stark contrast to what we saw with President Obama in Iran, where he did not engage with Congress. He also was not willing to walk away from the table, as this president is. Obama wanted a deal, any deal, as long as he got one, and he got a bad deal. I think Pompeo is playing this perfectly, putting maximum pressure on the North Koreans to get a good deal, and also engaging with Congress, because Congress has a role. The American people want to have a role and have a voice in this, and I think Lindsey Graham is absolutely right. We have abdicated our responsibilities in terms of authorizing the use of military force. If we're talking about North Korea, that's not going to fall under the AUMF that we had after 9/11. This is a completely different enemy, and I think that's something the Foreign Affairs Committee should be taking a look at.
Last question. What's your expectation for Singapore? You heard Chris Wallace a few moments ago. The White House put out a statement. The president will leave, and Chairman Kim will leave as well after spending a little less than 24 hours together.
Well, I have to say it's happening very fast. I do know Mike. I served with him in the Congress. I like his optimism about this, but I would urge caution as well. North Korea has a track record of consistently getting concessions from the United States and then pulling the rug out from underneath us. The biggest egregious example is when they got out of the non-proliferation nuclear treaty and basically stabbed us in the back. So I think but the fact is, we are putting maximum pressure on this time. We are willing to walk away from the table. And so I think all the pieces are there to get a good deal. I am very hopeful that we could be on the verge of a major diplomatic breakthrough.
Well, let's hope you're right. Michael McCaul, thank you for your time in Washington.
Thanks, Bill.
Today. Thank you, sir. You bet. 21 past the hour.
Another